Good afternoon. It is the first day in the month of August. Thank you for keeping it KBC Channel 1. A very warm welcome to this live broadcast. My name is Irene Muchuma Odim. My co-uncle's language interpretation this afternoon is Byron Abule. We are also live on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Hundreds of motorists in Nairobi were on Saturday night stuck in traffic for close to 3 hours after police mounted roadblocks to apprehend those found contravening the nationwide curfew. Nairobi Regional Commander of Police, Augustine Thumbi, says several city residents were hard-pressed to explain why they couldn't get home before 10 p.m. Thumbi warned that more roadblocks will be mounted to ensure only essential service providers travel beyond curfew hours. Serafina Robi kicks us off this afternoon.
This was the situation in most roads in Nairobi on Saturday night. Most people were caught up in traffic after the police mounted roadblocks at 10 p.m. in various roads in the city. Essential service providers were also caught up in the process as police moved to ensure everyone on the road had valid reasons to be out past 10 p.m.
Jana walitangaza na wangetuambia sasa maybe mwisho ni saa 4, saa 3:30, lakini saa 4 ilikuwa bado inaendelea.
Itakuwa sasa na niko na essential. Hao watu wangefanya hivi kama ni roadblock. Waweke line moja ile yenye waweke line moja ya watu essential wapite instead ya kuchukua njia zote wanaziblock.
Blocking the road indiscriminately without even taking into consideration those of us who have essential service.
Tunalala wapi? Unaweza lala kwa barabara.
Tuko na familia kiasi, tushafungiwa hapa hivi. Mimi natoka huko hivyo maatu hivyo. So nimefungiwa hapa hivi juu story ya curfew. Hadi mimi sielewi nini hii curfew ni samanini.
Kasarani OCPD Peter Mwanzo was at some point forced to offer his vehicle to transport some women and children to their homes. An opportunity to let an ambulance through this Nalap almost resulted in an accident.
Watu watii so that we can save Kenyans. We expected yesterday that people will listen to that. But unfortunately, they took it very casually.
After hours of procession, Nairobi Regional Commander of Police, Augustine Thumbi, ordered the lifting of barricades, but not without a warning.
Saa kila mtu aondoke aende. Kesho tunaianzia saa 4 kamili hakuna mtu atapita hapa.
On Friday, the government announced that there will be no turning back on the COVID-19 containment measures.
Kusema kuwa corona is real na fourth wave ya corona iko na watu wengi wanapata shida ya hii maneno ya corona kwa sababu ya kudharau yale mambo ambayo yamewekwa na Ministry of Health.
Politicians have been hugely indicted over the spike in COVID-19 cases, with the government coming out strongly against political rallies and public gatherings of any nature. For Lunchtime News, I'm Serafina Robi.
The politics of the Mulembe Nation over the impending development tour of President Uhuru Kenyatta have hit fever pitch, with allies of ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi claiming that he has been left out of the scheduled visit. The leaders led by ANC Deputy Party Leader Ayub Savula claim that Mudavadi is the region's kingpin and that attempts to undermine him will not be allowed.
Visit by President Uhuru Kenyatta to the region does not have a scheduled date. Jostling in the Mulembe Nation has begun as different groupings try to position themselves for next year's general election. The optics of moving around with President Uhuru Kenyatta, who exits next year, too important for the leaders in the region. Allies of ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi are crying foul that their party leader was being sidelined. The leaders have vowed to thwart any attempts to undermine Mudavadi once the president visits.
Safari ya mtukufu rais ingelikamilika vizuri kama angekaa na mheshimiwa Mudavadi. Kwa sababu bila alienda Kisumu, tumemuona mheshimiwa Raila akipanga mambo ya huko. Bila ameenda Ukambani, tumeona mheshimiwa Kalonzo akiwa mbele. Na akifika hapa na aweke msalia kando, tutajua hiyo madharau ya kawaida tena imetokea.
Watu wa Western tumechezewa. Na mtu akikuja hapa asiongee mambo ya Musalia Mudavadi, tunamwambia tawe.
Watulize mpira. Kwa vile rais hakuji siasa 2022, rais hayuko kwa debe, rais anaenda nyumbani kupumzika kikatiba. Kwa hivyo yeye anakuja huku kutuletea maendeleo.
Instead ya sisi kukaa chini tuangalie ile mambo ambayo yanatusumbua, atupea nafasi tumuongeleshe, tunaanza kupigana, lazima tuongeleshe kwanza. Wewe ni nani?
The party's deputy party leader Ayub Savula firing a salvo at Raila Odinga's ODM party over the impasse on political party funding.
Tumwapatia nafasi ya kutosha, zile pesa ndakana tugawane, ile mgawanyiko nataka tugawane vizuri. ODM, it's our right kupata hiyo pesa.
In Mount Kenya, former Embu Senator Lenny Kivuti has refuted claims that the region was divided following the meeting hosted by Agriculture CS Peter Munya in Meru last week, bringing together political and opinion leaders in the region. Kivuti says all the leaders in the region were free to dialogue with like-minded partners, but will move as a bloc come 2022.
Charity begins at home. There is no chance you are going to talk to Kenya when you have not talked even to your village.
In the meantime, Machakos Senator Agnes Kavindu wants police to take tough action on politicians flouting COVID-19 protocols and the ban on political gatherings. Kavindu says such leaders are setting a bad example to the public and should be punished to deter others.
Uenda ikawa hata 2022 hatutakuwa na elections, COVID ikiendelea hivi. Lakini tukichunga na tuiondoe 2022 tutakuwa na elections. Lakini ikiendelea vile inaendelea, hauwezi kutawala nyasi, unatawala binadamu.
John Jacob Kuria, Lunchtime News.
Shifting focus, Lake Okari, which is located in Marani sub-county of Kisii County, has been a great source of fish and water in the region and beyond. But little is known about the lake and how it was formed. According to Cleophas Manyara, a chief geologist in Kisii County, the lake was formed in 1965 through a process where rocks bend and then sink to create a reservoir. Its size has, however, been impacted over the years courtesy of geological activities that could spell doom its environs.
Approximately 15 kilometers from Kisii County headquarters in Kisii town lies this little-known water body, Lake Okari, which remains underutilized despite being clustered in the same category with East Africa's largest freshwater body, Lake Victoria. Lake Okari, which is located in Getebo village, Sensi Ward, Marani sub-county, is one of the 3 natural water bodies in Nyanza that feed rivers, springs and boreholes in the region and beyond.
Here in Nyanza and the Western Province, we have 2 more water bodies which are behaving this way. One of them is Lake Victoria, the giant Lake Victoria. Another one is Lake Simbinyaima. Lake Simbinyaima is in neighboring Homa Bay County here. They are formed by the same process of actual crust or deformation, whereby the rocks, because of the weight, they subside, they bend downwards to create a reservoir.
Cleophas Manyara is a chief geologist and director of infrastructure maintenance in Kisii County. He says that the 50 by 70 feet Lake Okari was formed in 1965 through a process where rocks bend and then sink to create a reservoir, adding that geological changes may have an impact on the size of the lake in the coming years. He further explains that the geological changes may split the country into 2 in the years to come.
It is another phenomenon, geological phenomenon, which is affecting Kenya. And in my own estimation, the country called Kenya is going to be 2 pieces 1 million years from now. Because along the rift valley from Mozambique to the Red Sea, there shall be water. Land shall be 2 pieces. You shall have East Kenya and West Kenya.
Kisii University Vice Chancellor Professor John Akama also warns of similar impacts of geological activities, which he says may lead.
The government has been challenged to deliver on programs that were meant to cater for street families in the country. Speaking during a food distribution exercise in Nairobi County, Eden Mohammed, a local leader in Nairobi's Pangani Estate, has urged the government to ensure prudent use of resources allocated to street families. Chairman of Street Families, Peter Ndiboye, decried the inhumane treatment street families were being subjected to by the police.
Shida zetu zisikizwe. Tunataka yenyewe waelewe, even street family are people too.
They are virtually everywhere in our country and especially in major towns. Today, more children and young adults are finding themselves in the streets owing to various societal push factors. The chairman of Street Families in Nairobi, Peter Ndiboye, says they are constantly harassed and arrested by police for no reason.
Sisi hatupigani na government. Kozi yenyewe zile vitu wanatutendea yenyewe si haki. Yenyewe kushika waseko mabezi, kuchapia waseko mabezi si haki. Wasi wamechomea mpaka malazi yao. Wasi wanakosa kwa kulala. Sasa hiyo mtu mwenye anafanya hivyo anaenda kwake kulalia duvet, anajivunikia na blanketi. Kwani hatuna haki?
The boy says, like other Kenyans, they are brothers, sisters, wives and husbands, and their lives matter too.
So people, they must hustle so hard, but Babylon them now.
In these streets, they say there are talents that if supported, they can equally contribute to the growth of the country's economy.
Sasa kitu yenye ningeomba serikali, mtu kama mimi ana talent, mnafaa mnafuatilia sana. Juu hata saa hii kwanza hata naweza piga ka freestyle hapo usikie wa kijana kweli ako na talent na si ati ya kubahatisha.
On his part, Aiden Hassan, a local leader, has challenged the Jubilee government to ensure prudent use of resources allocated to the street families and fulfill programs that cater to their welfare.
Hao kuna right kama wananchi wa Kenya wengine. They are just Kenyans, they are just like us. Wako na right vile sisi tunapatanga bursary, sisi vile tunapanga kwenda kusoma shule, tunapatanga vile kila kitu. So mimi nasema serikali, naomba kwa rais wetu Uhuru Kenyatta na naibu wake Deputy Dr. William Samoei Ruto, ya kwamba wewe ni hustler nation. Wewe ni unasema hustler nation. Kwa hawa watu ni masafara. Hawa watu ni wa hustler nation. Tafadhali muangalie malalamiko yetu ya kwamba hawa family wasaidiwe mkuje mtotee.
Caroline Kamar reporting for Lunchtime News.
Persons living with disability in Kiambu County want the government to enact policies that will lessen the burden of accessing healthcare. The group says that some affording medication is a challenge and want the government to allow them to use the people with disability cards in order to access healthcare with ease. This even as Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi says he has filed a motion in Parliament to have the government pay medical insurance cover for people living with disability.
Persons living with disability in Juja area of Kiambu County are calling on the government to enact favorable health policies that will ease the burden of accessing treatment. They say that accessing the National Hospital Insurance Fund NHIF cards is an uphill task for some of them as they cannot afford the monthly subscription fee.
Serikali wakaweze kutuangalia pande ya NHIF na pande ya hii kandi ya PWD ikaweze kutusaidia kama mambo na madawa. Juu ukienda kwa hospitali unaandikiwa dawa, unapewa pesa yenye bili yenye umepewa unashindwa kulipa.
Hiyo kadi ya NHIF juu kuna venye unakuta mwingine amelemewa na kulipa. Hiyo kadi ya people living with disabilities no NHIF kwa kila mwezi shilingi 500. Ile kadi ya amepewa ile yake ya kuonyeshana yeye akona hiyo shida ama shida yake ni disability. Ile kadi ichukuliwe tu itumike kama NHIF juu NHIF kusema ukweli kuna wenye wanalemewa na kuilipa.
However, Juja Member of Parliament George Koimburi says that he has filed a motion in Parliament seeking to compel the Exchequer to meet the cost of National Hospital Insurance Fund contributions for the disabled.
Ambao nimeupeleka pale bungeni kuhakikisha ya kwamba wale walemavu wamepewa kadi ya NHIF ambayo huwa hawawezi kujitafutia.
Father called for economic empowerment of the group towards their self-sustenance.
Watu wengi ambao huwa wanaficha walemavu wao katika nyumba zao ni wakati wa kujitokeza. Mtokee ndio muweze kujisajili, usajili huyo mlemavu ndio tuweze kumpatia nafasi yake ya kujimudu kimaisha.
Nancy Okari, Lunchtime News.
Now, Magarini constituency in Kilifi County is set to benefit from a 786 million shilling funding to implement key development projects, including the tarmacking of Ngomeni Road and building a primary school at Burangi. Area Member of Parliament Michael Kingi says the funding from the Italian government in collaboration with the Kenya national government has already been approved and documents are in the last stages of certification for the funding to be released.
Speaking during the official opening of Kagombane Secondary School in Magarini constituency, the area MP Michael Kingi said the funding will be used to tarmac Mjana Heri Ngomeni Road, which leads to the Italian Space Agency site. The agency is in Ngomeni Village, a renowned fishing hub that badly needs rehabilitation.
Ina pesa kiwango cha milioni 786 ilikuwa ishakwama. Lakini nashukuru serikali yetu. Saa hii tumepiga hatua sana. Hii pesa wakati wote huenda ikatoka.
The legislator said the funding will also be used to construct a footbridge from Burangi to Sabaki to ease the movement of people across River Sabaki, as well as construct Midodoni Primary School and a kitchen at Mamburui Dispensary.
Ile pesa vile vile itaweka lami kuanzia hapa Mjanaheri Junction mpaka Ngomeni. Kule Ngomeni katika kiwango cha sekondari itajenga multipurpose hall, itajenga jiko na vile vile itajenga bweni.
Kingi, giving an accountability of projects implemented in the first phase, called for cooperation between the people and the leadership for the easy completion of remaining development projects in the constituency.
Hiyo iko tayari. Makaratasi yameenda Rome kwa signature, ikirudi huku already mkuu wa sheria amepeana go ahead kwa sign na kila kitu ifanye nini siweze kuanza. Kwa hivyo kitu ambacho naomba sisi tuweze kushirikiana.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, Amambo Yotiende.
Glad you are watching the Lunchtime News. This is KBC. We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back with more. Stay with us.
There come a time when the nation is more important than an individual. It is because of that consideration and in consultation that I say I shall not offer myself for any position.
Nissan Serena ndio hii. Na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS. Alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
We are here.
Whose vision is to create a barrier-free society fully inclusive of persons with disabilities, held an autism awareness event.
In the classroom, as much as other children use toys for playing, for us our children use toys to learn.
Cases of child developmental milestone delay are on the rise in Kenya. Most of the cases are lifelong and therefore need early intervention. When not doing his military duties, Salaja dedicates his time to such cases. Once a child is born, they are discharged from the hospital and no follow-ups is done, only for the parent to seek medical intervention when things seem to be out of place.
We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tutajiunga na vijana wa Mwengenye watufunze kuhusu kilimo mjini.
Mimi naamini kilimo ni career kama zile zingine, na it is very viable kama tu engineer ama lawyer. Pia farmer, it should be inafaa kwa hiyo category ya hiyo kubwa, maybe hao wenye wanasema ndio career, white collar jobs. So farming is a very important activity.
Usikose kujiunga nasi Jumapili saa 9:30 hapa KBC Channel 1 kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Thank you for staying with us. Warm welcome to Channel 1 Lunchtime News. Now, a 46-year-old woman is appealing to well-wishers to help her raise 700,000 shillings to enable her undergo surgery to fix her shoulder. And Nyakio says she was involved in a road accident several years ago, but has not been able to afford requisite funds needed to repair the painful shoulder.
Leo, a former government clerical officer, says her monthly pension has been unable to afford her the much-needed treatment. Nyakeo says she needed to get a pin on her right elbow removed as well as her shoulder fixed. She is appealing to well-wishers to help her raise some 700,000 shillings needed by doctors to fix her shoulder. Donations can be sent to her M-Pesa number 0711194732 or her paybill number 200999, account number 0001050026394. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Amboyo Tiende.